All right, my friends, here we are. This is the scoreboard, and today we're doing graduates. I got turned on to something just today that I hadn't really appreciated, and this is, I guess, a subject open for debate. This is something Jack did when he was programming the site. I have kind of mixed feelings about it, but in a way, it's awesome. So here's the deal: if you don't log something within the last 30 days, a month, you will get booted from the scoreboard. So when we look at our scoreboard here, these are all people, this is 1718, who have logged some kind of point in the last month. If you do not log it, it boots you. Now, that doesn't mean you can't come back. You just will disappear from the scoreboard and only reappear when you log a point. Do you think that is unfair? It's certainly it does a thing where it makes the dojo definitely seem smaller. So, for example, when we had Dojo 1.0 and we had the Google Doc, there would be cohorts with like 150, 170 people on it, right? And now we're never going to get that. We're just going to have, like in this one, when we got 35 people, and there's probably a good, I don't know, almost 100 on here. Let's just cruise around actually and just see what it looks like. So this is 14, 15. And here we have 36, so similar number, right? Okay, so my friends, I'm going to try to get through all of the graduates today. I split it up into shows before, but the problem that I was having is that when you split it to the next day, then you get more people getting added to this thing, and then it doesn't work out. Now, there's hugely good news for me. There's only 4 people this week, dude. Woo! All right. Is that for real? Here, let's refresh and make sure that's real. Oh, that would make my life easier. Now, back in Dojo 1.0, it would be about 4 or 5 we would get a week. And this might be because Jack did something with the scoreboard. I might have to ask him about it. Because before, there was just so many people, they were doing weird things, man. Like they were graduating 3 million times in a row, as if, like a lot of people, they were like, let's say they were in 1,300, 1,400 cohort, they would like graduate themselves up to that point. So maybe Jack somehow got rid of that. Okay, so. Oh man, the deep cut isn't on Spotify. Nordovich, that's a good thing to put on there. Here, let's put that. I'm gonna put that in the Discord, and we're gonna say Nordovich says that the deep cut of David's rap needs to be on Spotify. Agreed. Okay. So, my friends, don't mess around anymore. Let's go into it. This is Sam Locke. Oh, wait, I want to see. Did he say anything? I thought he did. No, didn't say anything. This is Sam Locke. I actually have a bad feeling that I looked at Sam Locke's. So, see, this is an example of my problem because I did it in 2 parts. Last week, I think my show was on Wednesday, so this guy might have caught on there. We'll see. Boomer GM is just figuring it out as he goes. I have other things I want to get to, too. I want to stream if I'm done early with the show, which looks like I'm going to be, which is fine. Okay, so let's look at Sam Locke here. Oh, what a beautiful pie chart, dude. Yeah, beautiful pie chart. Now, this is then how they got here. So 88 points of work. That's some good work. Some beautiful 82 hours of study. That's good, dude. That's really good. Beautiful pie chart right there, man. Really good pie chart. And, one thing that is a little bit interesting to me is how many hours / how many points on average, do you have to get to advance? And what I mean by that is advance by cohort, because I think you're going to need less time on average to graduate from say the sub 1000 cohorts than say, the 2400 cohort. Man, that takes a lot of hours. It takes a lot of hours and a lot of points, man, on average to get up. And so 88, for example, that's some good work that Sam Locke has done. Okay, so I like it. Let's click around a little bit in here, see what they did. Endgame. Okay, very good. I like that they did some positional sparring too. Then we look at games and analysis. Delicious. Delicious. Let's look at opening, very little. That's what it should be. Tactics. I'm loving this dude, man. This guy's putting in the work. I really feel like this guy, I obviously don't know him, but this dude is doing the work to get there, man. I like it a lot, dude. What I really like is it's very well broken out. Like, dude's building a base on a variety of skill sets, We got chess culture. We have end games. We have a touch of openings, which is really all it should be at this point. We have sparring, obviously, games and analysis. Let's go take a look at dude's games here. Pop. And then, let's look at CBGGH because that dude is in the program. And this is Sam's annotations. Now, this color formatting, that's weird to me. That's the first time I've seen that. Also cool, though, is that we have the timestamps. So it's hour plus 30. And that will give us a sense of if people are playing too fast. The general complaint has been that people at the lower cohorts take too little time because they're freaked out. They're freaked out. They're online too, so it's very confusing. Okay, Pepper Chess is here. Nice. Let's get into it. Pop, pop, pop. Okay. Fine. Fine. Oh yeah, I looked at this. So, my friends, this is Boomer GM's mind. Not the greatest mind when it comes to memory. Yeah, not the greatest. One thing I want to talk about at some point is like chess. Let's call it chess IQ. People might get insulted by me talking about IQ, but in the sense that, there's a lot of things that go into chess IQ, memory being one of them, and memory being something I don't really have. Kraai really doesn't have it. Okay, so Sam graduated last week in last week's show. Boom, that's what I thought. So let's go back. We'll go, but still, it was a very enjoyable, Sam, to look at your thing again because you're really crushing it. Okay, this is Ricardo, and we're gonna go. Oh wait, Ricardo said something here. Let's go look. The first graduation was a little bit easy. When I started the program, I was addicted on playing blitz games, which made my chess bad. Started playing slowly is essential to improve. Very nice. Cool. And let's go take a look. Activity. And we're going to guess that they did the work here. Oh, not that much work. Not that much work. So, just a touch of points here. Just a touch. So we're hoping they did a game to analyze here. Let's see. There's one against Revolver. Is Ricardo in fact Revolver Jack? Let's see here. No, it looks like, I'm just guessing that white is white. Let's go. Pop, pop, pop. Revolver Jack, by the way, is a serious customer. D5, A3, pop, pop. Okay. Now, I think this new layout is something Jack did. I don't like it, dude. It's hurting my eyes. This white thing. I'm gonna put that on. I'm gonna put that on my list of things. Okay. Oh, yeah. so QuantXE is saying this has been a thing for the last couple days. Yeah, it's no good, Jack. It feels like it's not intended this way, though. This must have been something that happened. Okay. Now, let's say something obvious. This is a very highfalutin approach for white here. And the obvious reason is that white is down 3 million tempos. White is claiming that his center is going to be amazing, and in particular, this unopposed dark square bishop is going to be amazing. Okay. And dude is doing a lot of prep here. I'm in my prep. It's all okay. Okay? Rook e8. Now, my gut is that this is too highfalutin for a player at this level. Now, some people might say, Kraai, what do you mean, buddy? Let me play the fancy sows. Let me play it, Jesse. Let me play it. And I'm saying, well, boss, some fancy sows. This is a very fancy position. So, why? Because, well, we're uncastled. And I like white's position. Don't get me wrong. But that's also because I spent some time looking at Anand Carlsen Game 8, I believe, of their World Championship match 2013, which had a very similar setup. In fact, I believe this was the position where Carlsen played c5. And Anand just was just like, boss, I'm going for it with 92 g4. I don't care. I don't care. One of the best games of World Championship history, a great game. And it's obviously hard to play for white. White's playing for space, and he's got to be ready to go for it with some weird, like, kingside expansion, which is not the most obvious thing. So what did Anand do, dude? He played 92 and g4. He didn't care, dude. He didn't care, man. And so the reason bishop f5, maybe it's a fine move, but it's controversial because you got to worry about this. Now, I don't think maybe it works now, but if you're black, you're like, well, he might do that first and then hit me with g4. I don't know. And the problem is the bishop is then just a victim of that steamroller that's going to start happening on the king side. And of course, if you first look at this position, you're like, Kraai, we're steamroller on the king side? White's not even developed yet. I'm telling you, boss, this is the way they play. It's not my fault, okay? This is the way they do it. Okay, everybody. So this white thing is a bug. Jack, I'm sure will take care of it. Jack is a genius, by the way. He's our developer dude. Has really helped the site a lot. Okay. This diagonal is fundamental for my plan. Exactamundo. In fact, I remember how the game went with Carlsen. It went c5, pop, 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 pop. Exactamundo. Stopping bishop d3, and then Anand did that business. Okay. Good. So let's go here. Bishop d3, good. Weird. So knight c6 is weird, maybe playable, but weird because we are not using our c-pawn. Okay. And this move, maybe, I don't like this move from black because the concern is that you're putting your pieces on the king side that you might just get mauled by white's pawns. Now, knight d3, which white does, is certainly not a bad move. We do want to stop the knight going to f5. There's probably other moves too. I think g4 is interesting, queen c2 is interesting, but let's put it here. Fine. Queen d6, castles. And then black does not like c5. Honestly, I think c5 might be kind of forced, boss. Because if you don't play c5, you get to play e4. Right? Bishop e6, e4 isn't black done now. I mean, it's like strategically over. It's strategically over. Yeah. That's the dream. White has just achieved the dream. So I think c5's forced. And we're going to say this whole thing with the knight was a little funky business, right? Little funky. Because what's the knight doing there? Nobody knows. But so I think this is a little bit better for white. White plays a4, not the only move, but also not a bad move. Maybe we should stress that there's a variety of approaches here. The big one for me would be, if I just play bishop b2, boss, do you have a path to stop me from playing e4? Because if I get that move in, bows, it's going to hurt. It's going to really hurt if I get that move in, you know? Okay. Now, sometimes this a4 move can look better than it is because black can sometimes just block you off on c5, right, with some kind of b6 thing. Let's see how it goes. Maybe a little weird. And now b6. Okay, now we need a good move. Now, e4 is now possible because that pawn is pinned. So bishop d7 might not have been it. a5. So my question is, does e4 rage the black position? Let me tell you, it don't look good. It don't look good after e4, my friends. It looks bad. Peshka, thank you for rating. Yeah, sometimes I don't always look at the stream, you know, because I'm doing this thing, and then they used to have a little noise that alerted Boomer GM that people were coming. They took that away. They took that away from me. They took that away from me. But anyways, I'm going over a bunch of games. Basically, we have 4 graduates this week. These are people who move from one cohort of a rating level to the higher rating level, and we're just checking out their progress. And sometimes I get so deep into their game that I forget to look. But anyways, e4 looks deadly here. And I think the a5 feels to me like what I would call an inertia move. That is, white played a4, dreaming of a5, and now misses the main opportunity in the position, which is to expand with e4. The bummer about e4 is if you take, you free the rook, and it's going to look at f7. If you allow me to get to e5, you would have to move your queen first, obviously. Then f4 is coming, then f5 is coming, and slammer jammer is next. Okay. These all are similar to the Queen's Gambit decline positions that Kasparov played in the 80s and 90s. Okay, so here we go. G6. Tactics alert. Now he finds it. Nice. Now I think it's over. Pop, pop. Bishop c6. And now queen f3 looks good. This game's over, by the way. There's a variety of moves here for white that are crushing. E5 looks crushing. D5, C4 looks crushing. Like for my money here, D5, bishop moves, C4, and then our friend the bishop goes back to B2. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Queen F2, that ain't it, Bows. He have to move the knight. We could find knight D7 is better. Yeah, dude, you just need it. Here is also an inertia move. You saw this, but didn't start to think about, oh no, if you get this bad boy, that's it, Bows. That's it. So look at that. Bang! I don't know where he goes. Maybe he sacks the piece, but that ain't it, right? And then we go, bam! And there's no way for this, any beast. There's no nothing. It's over. That's it. Oh, Kraai, do you got to make little noises like that, buddy? Huh? Do you got to do it? All right, so queen F2. That wasn't it. Pop. Yeah. Now, maybe we have to mellow out, Kraai, and just say it's already gone. And that your D5 move, fine. But this queen f2 move also slaying. Also just slaying. Check to the miserable king. That's got to be a good move. Dang, take it easy, Bows. Bishop e4 is a nice move. Well, boss, now we just need to finish this. Well, black's not even threatening anything. Look at this. Ouch. Bang. Bang. Simple chess. No, that ain't it, Bows. Yeah. Oh, that's evil, man. Evil. Dang, take it easy. Dang. Is this necessary? Now, let me just stress there were probably simpler ways of dealing with this thing here. Well, let's say the obvious. Knight takes c5 or bishop takes c5. That's simpler. Why are we giving him the opportunity to even do this kind of stuff? I'm sure you're still winning. I'm just saying, you know. Yeah, now he might be able to wiggle and jiggle with his criggle, you know? Now, you got to trade one rook, boss. I'm just sorry, man. But you got to take it. You got to take it on d7. And honestly, this game isn't over yet. You might think it's over, but it ain't over. And this, I think a good move here would be knight g7, followed by knight e6, and we might live. For example, bishop e7, knight e6, bishop f, you know, something like this. We might live. It's not the happiest of lives, you know, but we might live through this. Yeah, that rook a8. You can't play chess like that. Look at that. Rook h7 is a threat, Bows. Now, why wouldn't we take on h7 first? Wait, why wouldn't we take on h7 first? Oh, man, it would be good to have the times here. Because again, no, I guess knight g7's out. So we got to say knight g7's out because of e6. But I could play king g8 first. Let's see if he does it. That looks like we're going to lose. e6. Bam, baby. But I think here both sides are thinking that white is toast or white's winning, but I don't think it's so easy. I play king g8, and black has potential to hold this position. If I blockade the pawn, I'm going to hold this position. The knight is cool when it's just one side of the board, you know. He's a real hopper. And the pawn on e5 is on the wrong square. So first of all, this game was played at a very high level in terms of the opening. And it was definitely kind of, even though I had some critique about the way the middle game was played, it was played according to, let's call it a template, an opening template, which is pretty high level for this cohort, dude. 14, 15. That dude just was 13, 14. This guy's no chump. Okay. And then the times are on the analysis of my game, so Revolver Jack has it here too. I'll tell you what, since we have a little bit of a moment, I bet we can do something fun here. Let's go games. Let's go search by player. Let's go Revolver Jack. And I go search, baby, search. Oh, how come it doesn't come up? Revolver Jack, buddy. Why is it so complicated? Revolver Jack 7, is that what I gotta do? Maybe you can help me if there's, sometimes there's different names. People have different names. Oh, there we go, Revolver Jack 7. Doesn't even find this. So that was this dude here. Pop. This might be the same one. Yeah, this looks like it. So we'll now look at it from black's point of view. Right. You'll find a lot of GM level games here with c5 followed by knight c6, sometimes with b6. And just to put it in perspective, black needs to hold the pressure on d4 over white's head to try to make e4 difficult to play. All right. So now white's better. I wasn't thrilled with a4. There's the times right there. That's interesting. Again, I'm not certain how strong bishop a3 is, but really a5 was incorrect, the mundo. Like I said, he's following through on the inertia. e4 looks crushing. Now this was silly. The idea being that I don't want something to land on f5, even though I'm not addressing why I don't like something on f5. Queen on d6, handling too many responsibilities. My knight on f6 just feels neglected, very good, and I didn't listen to him. Okay, let's go back a second and think about what you might have done. The big question is, can we do anything to prevent e4? I'm not sure we can, first of all. Okay, maybe we can't. It's already might be gone. So that's the bummer. For example, you're seeing that queen c6, e4 is happening. And the e4, it's just so strong, dude. And the knight on e7 is so bad. I'm realizing I'm not being helpful here. I'm not being a helpful dude. Yeah, you're in trouble in this position. But definitely g6 made it easier for the guy. Now, one thing about queen c6 is, I don't know. I think we're toast, honestly. Strategically, we're toast. So it's this move, bishop d7, that I really don't like, because it doesn't appreciate that we're about to get slammer jammered. So, what to do? It is true, bishop a3 what the problem is that it's making our pressure on d4 hard to deal with. Maybe what we do is this. We go pop, pop, and knight c6. Dude hits us with bishop a3. We go back, and first of all, we admit that they're better. But what we tell white is, at least we're stopping you from playing e4, right? And white can maneuver around, try to get e4 in, yada, yada. But here we at least kind of have a defensible position. Yeah. All right, let's look into this. Both sides moving too fast. The dude should have played that before. Queen f3, yeah, good, reasonable move, yeah. Yeah, Hey, these are good notes, Jack. These are good notes, too. This game looks like the previous one. Yeah, so we have analysis by two players. And this is one of the beautiful things about the dojo. You know, we got this database, and you can see a variety of perspectives. These two guys actually talked after the game, too. It's really cool that both players, you know, annotated without really huge help from the computer. Let's actually look here. Let's say something obvious. It's a little weird that we have annotations from Jack, like, unclear. It's clearly winning for white. Even if it was black's move, this thing would be winning for white. So, but okay, here, it is weird. I think I was mentioning d5 and c4 being crushing. It certainly looks... Oh, no, you got to be careful about... Excuse me, knight e5. Okay. Good. That's true. So he gave you a break. Bishop e4 was an impressive move. They're both getting a little time pressure. In general, I like it. Now, bringing the knight to e4 doesn't seem healthy, right? Doesn't seem healthy. And this is where both sides could have done some notes. Why don't we play king g8? Evict said knight, said rook from our face. You know, get that thing out of there. Get out of here, bozo, you big jerk. Get out of here, you big jerk. Sample line could go king g8, rook f4, knight e3, and now we're not worried about this because we got that. And are we still like in trouble here? Yes, but we're not giving it all to him. Because see, when we play bishop b4, boss, oh my god, look at that knight. Look at that knight. I play it later anyway. Oh, come on, dude. I wasted a move with rook c8, d8. Now, but you're in big trouble here. The problem was not the rook, is you invited the knight. You invited that big old taco onto your face, boss. No! Don't let him come in. Okay. All right. So, now dude is winning. But then he does that, which is weird. I don't know why we wouldn't play like bishop c5. Am I missing something? Feels weird. Okay. Pop. 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 Now you have a little counterplay. You know, you can't, I mean, you were completely lost, and now you have a hope. I'm not sure I understand. I really didn't understand why white didn't take on h7. Why wouldn't you take on h7, Bows? And then here, you write about it. King g8, e6, king f8. Why would you, but hold on. Let's just say it's your move here, right? There's no big taco here. You don't have to play king f8, and even king f8. First of all, the problem with king f8 is you're hanging your pawn, boss. But here, what are we doing? I can't play e6. I'm just taking this pawn. So here's the kind of. By the way, I can't stress enough that in terms of learning endgames, learning how to play chess in general, like studying a position like this and asking yourself, am I toast or not? It's very helpful. Personally, I'm not certain here for white. e6 definitely isn't it, because I'll just take the pawn. And that means that then this pawn is going to be a chump, because we're going to play, like, let's imagine king f2. I assume we're going to play knight g7. You know, bring the king in. Oh, the knight's kind of cool. The knight's kind of cool. Very blockading, tricky piece. And next move, I'm going to play my rook over. Yeah, life isn't so easy. Okay, beautiful. My friends, let's go back to recent. Pop. Go back to our graduates here. That was Ricardo. Let's check out Zach Wilson. The Polgar mates had an immediate impact on visualizing piece coordination. The structure and curriculum forced me to focus and take my time more seriously instead of haphazardly. I am excited to continue training in the dojo. Welcome to the dojo. Dude's got a really good dojo score here. Let's check him out. Oh, yeah. Enjoys reading chess books. Okay. The UIL chess puzzle teams. Hood County Chess Club. Hood County. That sounds like Oregon. Let me just look at that. My intuition's right on there. Nope. County in Texas. Hood County, Texas. Okay. Cool. Oh, this guy's an old dude like me, man. Nice. Nice, dude. Okay. Nerdy Geek. I'm going to follow Nerdy Geek on Twitter, my friends. That is my first order of business. It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in this room. Nerdy Geek. How did he even get that handle? I figured that was already taken up, man. No results. Oh, you spelled it wrong, you jerk face. Bang. Oh, that's Zach Wilson. Oh, boss. Here's a funny thing. I know all about Zach Wilson, even though I saw his name here. And you know why? Because he was talking like this old dude here, which he is. But then on his Twitter profile, I've been seeing this guy for days now. Dude has a picture like he's super young or something. I had no idea. All right, so here we go with Zach Wilson. This is great. I'm already following you, Nerdy Geek. I'm already following you, Bows. Okay, let's look at activity. First, let's just see something here. So, next graduation, 1850, Chesscom Rapid. Beautiful. And their preferred is USCF. Next graduation, 1650. Nice, and that's a good gain here, 105 points. They're close. They're close. So, all right. Activity. 93, very beautiful. Oh, look at that. Tactics, overwhelmingly tactics in terms of time. Ooh, Polgar mates in two, boss. In fact, I remember quite clearly now seeing Zach's posts on the Polgar mates, and dude was posting like he was like the first couple hundred. He's like, I'm cruising, man. I'm cruising. I'll be done tomorrow. And he had to pass. I think it was up to 1500 he had to do. And I was like, boss, 1471. And then like second dude hit 1471, man. It was like, oh, we're gonna need like a half hour to do each problem at least, you know. So this is cool. All right, so here we got the tactics, middle game strategy. Nice, nice. And then we got end game. Beautiful, settlement, okay. And then we got some game analysis. Let's go look at the progress over here, games analysis. Here's Zach Wilson playing Ishan. I promise, my friends, this white thing, we'll get that figured out. In fact, yeah, I already wrote it down, but it annoyed me so much, I looked at my clipboard and I was like, boss, we got to write it down again. Okay. Yes, Underbach. Yes, you should write it down yourself, get corrected, and then look later. I probably actually am gonna have time to do covering what KGB said about my last game. We had a great session yesterday. KGB doesn't want to go live on stream. That's why we don't do our lessons on stream. And honestly, I think it's better for me personally. It might not be better for the dojo that I don't do it live on the dojo, but it just helps me focus. I don't have to worry about the stream and people commenting and just get right in there. Okay, so Zach Wilson is playing the aggressive repertoire for white. Pop, pop, beautiful. Pop, pop. Mistake. Not a horrendous mistake, but it's a misunderstanding because white wants to take on c6. Beautiful. Why? Because that's our bad bishop, and what do we now have? We have a King's Indian on crack. Okay, g6, queen e1. So far, all my opening moves were theory that I've practiced. My opponent hadn't chosen a side to castle yet, and I wasn't sure the best continuation. I didn't want to commit my queen quickly to h4. Okay, so this is a mild mistake, and the reason the queen h4 is best is black will find his life incredibly uncomfortable if they try to castle queenside. Not only will the king be drafty over there, but black eventually is going to need to do something like this themselves to get some kind of juice going. And it's not clear that the bishop wants to go to e3 yet. We might, in fact, want to go to d2. The only reason we'd move the bishop, by the way, is to connect this rook. And the rook, where does it want to go? It wants to go to this square, right? So don't be afraid. Queen h4. Queen h4. Let's bring it. That's your strong side of the board. We can do an attack on that side of the board, even if their king isn't over there. All right, bishop e3. Queen c7. a4. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan. Castle. I'm really not a huge fan of that move. Okay. Okay. So, now h3 to prevent knight g4. All right, let's talk about this. The basic plan that comes to mind immediately is to play rook b1 and then b4 next. So rook b1 and not even worry about knight g4. No, you don't get the bishop bows. No, you don't. I'm going to kick you later, and then it's just going to be the rager. The ultimate rager's coming. Okay. So, Krishnansh, I assume it's Krishnan Sh. This is the Dojo training program, and this is our own database, our own games viewer. You should check it out, dude. Hit 2.0. Go like this, boss. Let me show you. Let me show you, Krishna. Check this out. If I can ever get my mouse to work. Bows. Here we go. Pop. And then I go 2.0. Pop. Check out the Dojo training program. H3. Now, H3, not a terrible move, but I feel like one of the things about this is you should appreciate that we now have opposite sides castling, and the initiative is the most important feature now of the position. That wasn't it. That wasn't it. A5 maybe, but I still want rook b1. That wasn't it. Black also is just like, I don't know what to do. Oh, okay. Now, I have some sympathy for this move, but really, and actually, the problem now is if we do play rook b1, we have to deal with queen a5. Okay, so I have some sympathy with this, but I don't know. Okay. Now, is this a blunder? Looks terrible. Can we take on c6? Thank you very much. He decides to take back with the queen. That wasn't it, because now the knight lands. Pop! Oh, that's too much. Pop! And now queen b4. Now, you're absolutely right that f5 looks like the slammer jammer. So let's talk about your fear about f5. If I have a fear in this position, it's the bishop getting opened, in particular the knight coming to e5. So f5, the main virtue of this move, is to prevent those things from happening, right? Rook g8, though, is really slow, bows. And he can't just be playing rook g8 until this thing has been dealt with. And there's no rook g8 probably because of knight e7. So queen b4, now it's very important for dude to take on f4. I don't know about knight e7. I don't know about that. What are we doing? That's our good knight. Where is he going? Okay. So the knight on e7 looks misplaced. Let's go knight e5. Bam. Let's play queen. Oh, be careful, Kraai. Be careful. Uh-oh. There was the bait. There was the bait. You baited him, boss. You planned that all out, Zach. I could feel that. I could feel you're just planning it. Planning it. Now, before we got to say that queen c4, even if you miss queen b6, so queen c6 would have been. By the way, let me just stress, it is now very hard to crack the black position now. I still like white, but it's going to be very hard to crack this position. And if you're a Sicilian player, you should know the feature of this knight landing here. Once he lands there, boss, really hard to do anything. Just really hard, man. Now, maybe an exclam move would be rook a3. You know? But let's leave that for another time. Okay. So queen c4. Now, if you miss queen d6, this is what I was trying to say, then it's still true that this is something I don't want to see, because the rook is so strong on the 7th rank. It's just a beast. And bishop g7, I think, is going to be no lo puedo. You know, no lo puedo play that. Okay, so let's look over here. Queen b5, critical position. Here I took a long think, good. I spent about 20 minutes calculating variations and could not find the full continuation. My opponent offered me a draw. I found it annoying and rejected it. I knew something had to be done here. I couldn't decide between queen a7 and queen c7. Good. Now, I'm a little Let's look at this position. It looks fully crushing to me. Yeah, but I really like that dude has identified this as the critical position. Correct, correct. The other thing that he should consider is the lame-o move, queen takes followed by a6, because the endgame that I'm looking at there looks absolutely crushing. So that's just another thing. He's probably only thinking about mate. I get it. It probably is mate, by the way. Now, let me say something about draw offers. No lo puedo offer a draw offer, give a draw offer when it's your opponent's move. And I think that's what was happening. You were thinking 20 minutes and dude offer you draw. No, not good. Second of all, not cool to offer a draw when you're playing a position that looks like you're about to get mated. No, not done. That's something you don't do. No, don't do it. You guys like my little sound effects? Now, next thing that I'm going to complain about is he offers it again. No, you only get to offer once. Okay? This is the rule. If you offer it, you have to wait until your opponent can only offer a draw after that. You may not offer a draw again and again and again. No, only once. Okay? Only once. That's the rule. The other one was etiquette. Okay? In terms of like the fact that when you have a cruddy position, you're not supposed to be offering a draw. Okay? That's just etiquette. But the other things I'm saying, those are rules. Okay, like you cannot offer him a draw when it's his move, boss. You can't offer him a second draw. Okay, Kraai, get off your soapbox, buddy. Jeez. Okay. Let's see which way first dude chose, if it was fully winning, and then we'll see what happened here. Rather than accept a draw, I decided to step out of my comfort zone and sack. Uh-oh, this is just unclear, though, Zach. This is unclear. Okay, time out. So let's find something concrete for you here. And let's see what you came up with here. So rook AF1, and you write queen C6. I didn't want a queen trade and couldn't calculate deeply enough as time was beginning to run low. Uh-huh. And then let's just see what you're saying here. That's a hell of a drug. Okay, let's see if that was force. So rook AF1. Now, by the way, I like it in theory because we are getting our boys, everybody in. And that means this move, rook AF1. Okay. Now, one thing I want to say is, people hear me say this every time. In terms of improving, okay, people talk to me about tactics. Fine, tactics are great. But spending some good time in the postgame, looking at this, trying to figure it out with even more variations than Zach had, that's where you're going to learn. Because you're going to find yourself in this situation again. Sure. Okay. So first question I have is this winning on the spot? Pop, pop, pop. Looks crushing. Nota bene, I don't think knight c4 is... Well, first of all, knight c4 just loses immediately to check to the miserable king and mate. So that ain't it. And then he's got to, like, what, take? And if he moves the knight, this is a real problem for Mr. Doblin, you know? I don't know if you guys know Mr. Doblin. He's kind of a friend of mine. We go back a ways. And rook b6 is a pretty basic threat. You know, there might, and we just have a great position. He can't do much. He can't do much. He's going to get mated. Here's a fun variation. Rook c8. Now, I could take on d6, but I just want to show something. Check to the miserable king. Here. Now I'm threatening knight b6. Rook c2. Oh, baby. Rook a1 coming. Oh, baby. Sorry, buddy. So this is what I'm saying. Even though a queen's came off doesn't mean it's not mate. Now let's go back to your other question, because you quite rightly, you expect to be winning here, and we got to be able to find something, Bobs, right? We got to be able to find something. Let's take a moment. Now let's just, for kicks, say it would be hilarious if you had to take back with the rook, because then we'd have that. But I don't. Unfortunately, I think we can get with the king. Okay. Now, yeah. Okay. We'll also say that the rook on if we have a problem, it's the rook on f4 is not fully engaged with the attack. So I think the natural or a natural way to ask the question is, what about rook a3? With a simple notion of playing rook b3. Now, I think you were obsessed a little bit about the queen coming to mess with you. This is so scary for dude. I mean, it's like he's about to fall apart, man. Anyways, rook b3 here looks winning, because he can't really do anything, and he's got to do this, and then we got this. Now, Kraai, how can we keep allowing... Now, I'm having the same problem he did, though, because he was like, I want to mate this guy, and why isn't it easy? It seems like, dude, we got to have some kind of discovered El Checo to make Dr. Recco. You know what I'm saying, right? Okay. A basic way to do this, too, would be check to the miserable king. Check to the miserable king. Now, here we have queen b8, but unfortunately, when we go here for mate, it's not really mate. Then he can take with our queen, our business. But anyways, we take Ovich, and I don't know how a guy recaptures. Probably the bishop makes sense. Then I take here, and I just say, yeah, I'm telling myself a story about the rooks on the 7th. It's true, though. It's not as cool as I would like it to be, because of like rook c8. Man, it's an interesting, slightly difficult position. Hard to believe, though, right, my friends? Hard to believe. Hard to believe, my friend. Let's find something. Queen d8 wins the exchange. Liard, why did I see it? There you go, boss. There you go. Just for the record, it was sitting in front of my face the whole time, and I think, kind of like Zach, I had a disease where I was like, I don't want to give away the queen. I want to mate this guy. Also, of course, it's hard to not want to mate him with something. Get a discovered Chekovich, man. Boss, I get a discovered Chekovich. Where's it gonna go? Look at that knight. Look at all those things he can go, man. Let's show this. Bang, chess is easy. Bang, chess is easy. Bang, chess is easy. And then we'll play some nasty move like bishop d4 or something. Just take all the joy out of it for her. Just take all the joy away. Okay. Matto, that probably also wins. We looked at that earlier. Okay, so let's see how this game goes down. Dude took a risk. By the way, taking 20 minutes. Good job, dude. Good job. Now, how do we assess this position? I think it's unclear. Black should definitely consider rook f8 now. No, he can't because 97. Excuse me. I'm making blunders here. Jack, I blame it on you, buddy. It's this white layout. It's killing me. Dude writes, this is game 7. I'm tired, buddy. I'm running low on time. I grab my queen, begin to touch it to move to c7, realize it's a huge blunder. Touch, move. I'm lost because I have to move my queen. No, you're not lost, buddy. Look at your position. You can't be lost. Touch, move, error. I was tired and blundered. Well, now, it's sad, perhaps, but can we go back a second? Let's say you touch move. I understand. It's a terrible thing to touch move. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to be there. I don't even know who's better here. There's some real questions still. I mean, this is the El Natural right here, Queen D5. That's what we call in the business El Natural. And can dude take on B2? Maybe, but there's gonna be some questions. Okay, did dude lose this game? Oh man, let's see what happened here. This one, it doesn't look like it has a notation as to who won. Lots of things happen. Lots of salamis. Now we're lost. Okay, maybe he's going to give us a chance. Got to take on D6, Bobs. That ain't it. Okay. Oh, Zach, buddy. Zach, you're doing good, man. So, one of the things I just want to stress, when you analyze the critical moments, a couple things happen. You get really good at, you get better at finding those kinds of tactics, because they're not the kind of tactics that happen on Chess.com, even though this one was one. It was Queen D8 like Liard found, right? 2, you get better at understanding when the critical position arose. And one of the things that Zach really did well here is he knew that this was the critical position, right? Yeah. Okay, so that was really cool. So let's go back and we're going to look. And we got recent human strategy. My graduating here was not really meaningful. I entered the dojo right on the precipice of qualifying for the next tier with my Lichess classical rating. I played a classical game on Lichess today, won, and thus my rating went past the benchmark. Well, it's fine. My first real graduation will come when I get out of the 17-18. Sorry about the false positive. But boss, you were below and you went above. That's a graduation. Yeah, let's look human strategy. Okay, human strategy has truly not done much. That's okay. Let's see if they have a game. They do. Let's go look. All right, black. Pop, pop, pop. Okay, he doesn't like the anti-Sicilians. They're pretty real, dude. Let's look what happens. Okay, so normal, normal, normal. Okay. Okay. H3 is pretty common. It's usually a useful move. And you write about F4, and I do think F4 is totally playable too. Okay. Now, my sense is white is hesitant about pulling the trigger with F4. And there might even be like some false memory about the bishop going to E3 needing to have H3 first, because sometimes you'll get whacked with knight G4. It's an example of maybe studying openings isn't good for you. Okay, good move. Immediately, this looks like white is looking to play bishop h6 next. However, I should welcome such a plan, especially if the current central pawn structure were maintained. Even as happened in the game, with the white f-pawn being traded for black's e-pawn, this trade of dark square bishops, although not ideal, was not as immediately bad for black / good for white as I think a lot of players might think. I'm just beginning to appreciate such subtleties, and more importantly, appreciating the value that comes with not wasting a lot of time, thank you, and mental energy to engage in the sort of contortion, nice dude, required to stop these sort of plans, which again aren't as dangerous as they might initially seem. Well, that's a really good, well-written piece of work there. I like it. Okay. One great rule of thumb that Kostya came up with was the simple question with this bishop h6 stuff. First of all, people do it because they kind of saw a mating pattern once, and also they are like terrified a lot of times of that fianchetto bishop. Here, this bishop is clearly a chump. It's the worst piece. If you're going to trade something, trade this one off. That's the black's good bishop. But here's Kostya's basic rule of thumb that I really like. When you ask yourself, do you want to play bishop h6? You just got to answer one question. Are you going to mate the guy? If not, then it's probably a bad move. Okay, it's probably a bad move. Bishop h6 only there for the mates, right? And especially here, yeah, it ain't the thing. Now, knight d4, still maybe not a bad move. You know, looks pretty good to me. b5, b4 would be the more typical way for black to play. And so it might be good for you to tell us like how long you'd spend on this move. That might be a mental energy thing. And what you thought the alternative lines were. The true contortion here would be to play rook e8. You know, that way you can meet bishop h6 with bishop h8. Okay, so let's look at how it went. Knight d4, f4, good move. And I think if we want to be generous to white, he's just playing queen d2 to develop his stuff. Okay. I don't like it. Now he says, the computer might be fine with allowing f4, f5 in these sorts of positions, but practically speaking, at least, there doesn't seem to be a need to allow this. Even though this move improves one of white's pieces, it also massively improves the g7 bishop. All right, let's talk. First of all, every Russian schoolboy knows you take back with the pawn. Do you like my sound effects? That's a sound effect for you. You take back with the pawn, boss. You take back with the pawn. Come on. In general, it's a bad news to be moving anything. Now, first of all, f5 I don't think is a threat, boss. You got that thing covered. Yeah, you got that thing covered, dude. So I think your candidate moves are b5 and, wait for it, f5. That's the, Botvinnik way of playing these positions. And the general rule of thumb here, actually, is kind of interesting. I got told this in 1989 or something by a top junior player whose name I can't remember. And he said, this is what dude said. He said, it's whoever breaks the tension first is going to lose or be worse. So what does he mean? That if white takes, black is happy. If white takes, black is happy. Similarly, we always recapture the central way, either way, and it's a game of chicken to see who cracks first in the center. Okay. So, I'm going to say EF. I don't like it too much. I hate that move. That one's a bad one right there. Now you just gave black the E5 square, and we should be thinking of putting one of our pieces there soon. Now, this is interesting. Let's read what dude wrote here. A fundamental thing to understand in this sort of position, it would seem, is that white is attacking on the king side, black on the queen side. This is, in fact, how the game played out. And while there might have been other options for black, this move definitely seems to fit the bill of getting queenside counterplay. Okay, so here's the issue, though. With the pawn exchange that just happened, white is saying, I'm going to land a knight here. I don't know what else I'm going to do, but I'm going to put a knight there, boss. So b5 has only one objective as far as I can tell, and that's, hey, to play b4 and mess with force the knight to go to where it wants to go with d5. So that b5 doesn't make sense to me. Now, what you should do, that's another interesting question. And maybe I need to have an attitude adjustment about knight takes f4. It's wrong from, let's call it, a classical perspective. but maybe not horrendous. No, I think it's just bad. Because GF, I want to stress, GF, I like white. For sure, I like white. Just a nice position. Look at those pawns. That's central control. Whereas knight f4, if we find nothing else, let's just put our bishop there, Babos. Let's just put our bishop there and say, what do you want? What do you want? I'm just going to develop my stuff. If you ever take, I'm fine. And then later, I'm going to be dreaming about that maneuver because you gave me that square. Thank you very much. Okay, here we go. b5. He comes in. Weird that dude didn't put the other knight in. And if we're going to play bishop e6, why wouldn't we do it like this? That way the knight doesn't get to go to d5. Knight f4, he's terrified. Now, would we take that thing? Would we actually take the thing if we could? And why aren't we now playing c3? It's got to be a good move to play c3. Kick that knight out of there. You're afraid, too, of this thing. There goes c3. And what? That's a chump move. Knight takes e6. You go back, Babos. And white's better. So there you just got to say thank you very much. So it's like, thank you, oh Lord, baby Jesus, for not landing on d5. And then now he shows he's obsessed with this move. Okay. And I'll say the standard move here is for sure to play b4. For sure. b4 question mark. Uh-oh. Am I wrong about this? The only other seemingly real attempt to gain queenside counterplay. c4. In this way, white would seem to have successfully shut down the center and the queenside and relegated black to mere passive defense against white's coming onslaught against the black king. See, this is great annotations, even if I disagree with them. c4 makes this bishop a permanent chump. And yeah, we're doing great here. We're doing great. The first order of business is to put our queen here. I don't think he's doing anything to our king side. And the basic way of playing this is to either take now or put the queen here, put the pawn here, move the bishop, put the queen, centralize that baby. And we're doing great. Black's better. Okay, now maybe d5 doesn't mean d5 is a mistake. I think d5 is a mistake. Because now white can play e5 and then he gets a little bit of juice on the f6 square. Plus, it's important for white to put their pawn on the correct color opposite this bishop. So the bishop, we're giving a reason to live. This was white's bad piece there on bishop g2. All right, so d5. Again, if I disagree with the annotations, doesn't mean the annotations were bad. It's great that dude and everybody else is articulating what they're thinking of the position is, and then hopefully if I say something, that can be, constructive. Same thing. After this, I'm gonna take a brief pause, and I'm gonna show what KGB told me about my game. Dude said some deep stuff, dude. He said some deep stuff, man. So it's good. I think Zonderbach was earlier in the chat. I was like, yeah, dude, the best is, if you can have someone look at your game who's a little stronger. Even if they're around the same level, they can give you some interesting feedback. Okay. King G8. He likes it. Okay. I think we want to stop this from happening. So taking makes more sense to me. Now white, I think, should play e5, and then they're a little bit better. No one understands that move. The fact that my last move was particularly good, at least practically speaking, and why I'm very proud of it in the game, was that my opponent then settled into a long think, and this move was what they came up with. After this, I knew I had set my opponent a lot of practical difficulties, and it was my turn to grab the initiative. Okay. So definitely they're losing their mind with a3. You don't have to be a genius to know you're losing your mind when you play a3. And sometimes, people take a long think. That's what's happening. They're losing their minds. This has got to be the move. Got to be the move. Black's not lost, but white has suddenly the better bishop. I approve of this message. Okay, good. Notice they couldn't do that before because of queen e5. That ain't it. Oh, dang. Hey, now we're talking. Now we're playing some chess. Whew! I played this move largely off of intuition after calculating a few variations. Nice. Very well said. That ain't it, right? Pop. DC4, CB2. Nice. Absolutely. Now you're crushing it. Okay, now, question. Should we go for the endgame? Interesting question. The endgame's definitely better for us. The reason to not go for the endgame is to say, whoa, boss, isn't his king much worse than ours? So, for example, queen c7, that's a pain. That's a real pain. I'm going to play rook c8 next. Where's the white king? The white king is just worse. Sample variation could be king h2, and now I can play h5 or rook fc8. Both of them seem really annoying. If ever queen d6, I'm going to win a pound. A pound. Okay, here we go. Queen takes. Good. Now, white must try to get their king in. Let's see if they do it. I'm not sure where the rook's going. Black should be thinking similarly. Let's put the king on e7. Okay. And now white does this, and let's see. Let's read the notes. While I'm not sure if the engine would say this is inaccurate or anything, at least practically speaking, how about we say, I wonder what Kraai would say about this. At least practically speaking, this seems inaccurate, as it seems to rob white of the opportunity of greater chances of future potential counterplay and simply makes life easier. Now, I have some sympathy for the dude because you're about to play rook a4. So, for example, on king f2, instead of rook bc8, just go pop. Oh, shoot. What is he going to do now? Life isn't so pleasant for a peasant. And you can always play a6. So, okay. So let's say the obvious. Rook d1, that wasn't it. Okay. All right. Check the miserable king. Good move. And I'm going to guess that a great defensive/offensive pattern to remember in these sorts of positions. Great, dude. Absolutely. There are a lot of classic games from the old timers where you see this pattern, and it's very unpleasant. Very unpleasant. However, white should consider bishop f1. That's still unpleasant. I mean, it's highly unpleasant. It's beyond unpleasant because now we're going to take this thing, bows. Nope, that wasn't it. So here we go. Let's just see if we can drum up something. Bishop f1 maybe? That seems a little more testing. By the way, I say this all the time, but in your analysis, if you can do this kind of work, i.e. looking at variations in the endgame, skill level explosion. For example, pop, 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 pop. We looks like we're toast. We're just hanging all our apples. But maybe it's not totally done. Yeah, I think it's done. Because when we take, you can come back. Too much. Yeah. So again, great, really good annotations here. Okay. So let's look at how the game went. Rook d8. I don't know what he should do. I don't know what he should do. It looks bad. But this obviously isn't it. a6, beautiful move. That doesn't do anything, right? Pop, thank you very much. That doesn't do anything. Oh, that's strong. That's strong. That wasn't it. Question. Does rook a2 win a piece? Looks like it wins a piece. Right? Oh, no! That's what they get. That's what they get. Refresh the page to get the game viewer. Uh-oh. What's going on? Hold on. Refresh the page, Bowers. Oh, yeah, dude. Jack fixes things, man. Look at this. Look at this game viewer you did, dude. Dang. Okay. Uh-oh. Wait a second. There's a problem, though. It's not showing me the little button at the bottom, Jack, where I get to say from Black's point of view. But this looks good, dude. That looks smooth. Real smooth. Okay. So, yeah, let's finish this game off. Oh, beautiful, man. This looks really good, man. I have to say, just on my eyes, really good, man. So let's go to this position now. So g4. Okay. There, rook a2 was winning on the spot. And it does, okay, I mean, it's a crushing position, but these things do matter. Rook h3 looks strong. Okay. Okay. Notice that our black king, he just is a little unhappy. White should play g5 to try to keep the king out. Yes, the position is winning. There we go. Good job. Oh, I'm not sure I like that. f5. No, I don't like that at all. That wasn't it. Wait, this is a variation. Somehow we got caught on a variation. So, wait, why does it go to rook c4? Okay, in any case, this is winning, but not f5. We definitely want to play f5 because then there would be check to the miserable king, and then we don't know what's happening anymore. We don't know. We don't know. Nota bene. This is a known drawn position. Okay. Not easily, but it's a draw. Okay. So, e5. Thank you very much. e6, that wasn't it. Rook g4, okay, fine. Rook g4, thank you. King e6, fine. Snip, oh, that's fine. You can do it that way too. And dude resigned here? Oh, wait. How come something's going wrong, Jack? Because it's showing me, yeah, when I just cruise along, it's showing me now the side variation instead of the main one. Oh, see, like here it's showing me g5. King f6, okay. Good move by black. And now we need to put the king to g7. g5. I like king g7. Good move. Rook b4, thank you very much. g5, thank you very much. King h5, thank you very much. King g4, thank you very much. King f4, maybe a little unnecessary, but you can mess with him. I like this, dude. Oh, yeah, look at that. There we go, Bows. That's some chess right there. White resigned. That was great, dude. Human strategy. That was great, man. That was really good. So I'm gonna give that as a featured game that I'm gonna add to the cohort list. Again, the games that I put in there, and you can nominate games, by the way. There's a channel on our Discord to nominate the games. But the games I put in there, not necessarily the ones that are the best played or that I agree with the notes. What I'm looking for, and I think is helpful for other people to read, is when people, you can see they've done some real work, have some both variations, have some evaluations, and do some thinking about what's going on. And you can tell that from this game, human strategy here has got some real takeaways. I like that pattern with the rook a4 and the a6. Yeah. Okay. Great, so I'm going to feature game. Pop. Okay. My friends, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to do what KGB said. Okay, it's hot in this room. I need to turn on something. It's too hot. Okay, I'm going to be back in 5, and I'm going to adjust the title. Check out David's rap. Soon to be found on Spotify.
Welcome to the dojo. Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin. Who cheated who, which engine did he packing? He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes. True, not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If Sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If Sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If Sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo. Welcome to the dojo. Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin. Who cheated who, which engine did he packing? He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes. True, not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, it's not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo. It's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo. I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo. It's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo. I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If Sweatwork's what I believe. Ratings what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book.
All right, my friend. This looks terrible. What are you doing? What are you doing here, buddy? This is the wrong board, that's why. Here, watch, let's get rid of that. Bang, delete. Delete, baby, delete. Delete. Oh, man, delete it for me, please. Delete, yes. Bang, okay, Kraai. Now, over here. Yeah, chess base. No, we want the board, buddy. The board, give me the board. Why are you killing me, Bows? Is there a reason you killing me? Bows. You're killing me. Let's try a different board. I don't know. Bang. There we go, Mr. Bows. Still not correct, Mundo. Cancel. Hey, boss, your things are all messed up. That's what I was gonna say. That's what she said, but I didn't. Okay. I know people think I just do it all over, buddy. Discard, discard. Just start it over because DM Hokey ruined you. Okay? Here we go. Now, while I'm doing this miserable thing, Jack, if you're listening, I got a question for you, Bows. I falsely submitted this analysis early thinking I was done. I was not, in fact, done. I wasn't done. I had to look at what KGB told me, and oh man, he told me some things that I'm going to try to encapsulate in words here. And so, this is something useful for the whole dojo, so that's why I'm bringing it up online here. How do you update an analysis once that thing is done? You know what I'm saying, Bows? Like you want to do it again. See what I'm saying? You want to resubmit and get rid of the old one. That's what we're saying here, Bows. That's what I would like. So if we can get that knowledge as an algorithm, that would be nice. Okay, Mr. Bows, put that here. And then extend it. There you go. Okay, so this was a game. Go to your game in the scoreboard, and there's an update PGN button. Dang, Jack. All right, so I'm going to, see, that's why I asked you. That's why I'm going to say update PGN. I got so many things to do. All right. I don't know how long this is going to take here, but let me just stress. It's not easy to have a coach because it costs some money. Okay? Let's just put it out there. And for me as well, it's like, oh man, it costs me some money. So it's a real extravagance to have a coach. But the times that I've done it, that's great, man. It's really good. And one of the things that I'm really hoping for at the dojo, well, first let's talk about why. Let's say I'm on a schedule and I do one lesson a week, and before that lesson, I'm like, KGB, buddy, I'm going to do the analysis, write it up, I'll stream my process in the analysis. I do it on the notebook, and then I type in the notes. on stream here. All right, so a couple days ago, we had notes for KGB. Then you get somebody with experience, it's really amazing, especially in a position like this where he has deep knowledge of what's going on, that how different my appreciation of the position was from his. And really, like, you know, he was at another level, especially in the type of position we're going to be looking at. So it does two things to have the coach, right? It gives you a structure, right? To be like, not only like the dojo where, you know, the dojo is saying you got to do this to get your points, which is great, but it gives you like, okay, by this time, bows, by this time, bows, you need to have your analysis done. And for anybody, it's hard, you know, just get on the schedule, boss, get on the schedule. And then, yeah, you get to see how a stronger player sees it through their eyes. Now, something I want to stress is with the money, this costs a lot of money, that in the dojo, what I would hope for is, even if you, like let's say the KGB is not rated that much higher than me, you know, dude has much more experience than me, but he's not rated that much higher than me. And I don't think I'm going to lose every game to him. You know, it's not like that. But he definitely has a perspective and knowledge that's very interesting and is pretty good at communicating his thoughts. So in the dojo, let's say you're rated 1400, right? As an example, let's say Sam, beloved bookkeeper, she's here in the chat. If she got a coach that was a little bit higher than her, and then maybe paid that coach a nominal amount, because it's good for that coach too. Let's just say for kicks that she's rated 1500 and her coach would be rated 1700. Maybe pay 1700 a nominal amount, right? $15 an hour, $20 an hour. It'd be great for the 1700 to do it, right? It's amazing, especially for a 1700, to try to express their thoughts clearly in somebody else's game. And then you can see it through their eyes, you know, how someone stronger than you sees the position. Okay, spiel over. Let's get into it, Kraai. Dude was very happy with my opening. This is kind of my novelty. One actually hilarious thing is with this tournament is I've not been studying openings, but I won the opening battles, my friends. That's just to mean I came out and I just had a better sense of what's going on, mostly from studying my own games, right? Because I've had this position before, and I've studied it a little bit. Even if I'm criticized how I'm about to play it, but I had a pretty good sense. Okay. Anyways, it surprised me that the openings went so well for me, and it's been the last couple tournaments. Openings haven't been my problem. And it's funny because my own opening files are pretty sparse. And when I put up analysis for people who are 1700, 1800, they're like, Kraai, this isn't long enough. This isn't deep enough analysis. And I'm like, boss, wait a second. Who are you playing? Who is it? Who is it that's crushing you with their amazing moves? Okay, so C6, probably, maybe A6 is better, yada, yada. He agreed with me that bishop D3 was better. Okay, so CD5, mild inaccuracy, but this is definitely an interesting position. Okay, so A3. A really interesting plan here that I didn't think about was knight E5, knight G4, knight takes, bishop takes, rook AE1. This was KGB's idea to play f4 next and get interesting play. So here's an example, by the way, of somebody at a higher level showing you a plan that you're like, what? What? And play might go something like this. f6, I kind of like that move. f4, bishop h5. With an interesting game. I'm not sure I would want to do this, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, the whole idea of f4. I would only want to do f4 if I had a knight here. Excuse me, knight here. Okay. So anyways, I played the more conventional. KGB was understandably drawn to this more direct move. Now let me say something. We have a Carlsbad structure. I've had a couple games recently where I had Carlsbad structure with the pawns on d5, c6 as well. So I kind of felt like, oh, maybe I understand something about the Carlsbad structure. I also watched Ding, and Ding was just like, boss, let's play Carlsbad every time. Let's go. So I felt like, oh, whether I'm from the white side or the black side, I kind of enjoy the drama of this position. And it's drama, my friends. Let me just say, you get these Carlsbad positions, and it's like, you think it might look kind of placid at first. There is nothing placid about this. This is pure violence. Okay. So let me just say, say KGB didn't like it. He's opposed, this has really surprised me, to all trades of bishop c8. So why doesn't he like it? He doesn't care about the bishop, like bishop abstract over knight in the abstract way. He's saying that's black's worst piece with no business taking that thing. Right? So, and then here in this position, I was analyzing queen e7. KGB didn't like this. KGB didn't like this, but rather wanted knight g6, b4, pop, pop, bishop g4, knight e2, knight h4. KGB's preference. Dude referenced a Spassky game. I had no idea what Spassky game he was talking about. I have no idea. I'm sure it exists. Yeah. Who is KGB? I'm not allowed to tell you. I'd have to kill you if I told you. I started taking lessons from KGB before the Russian thing started, and the Russia-Ukraine thing started, and so I feel a little bad calling him KGB now, you know. Dude is originally from Russia. He doesn't have any sympathy with the current business there, but yeah. Anyways, I called him KGB because he didn't want to come on stream, and he didn't want me to say. So I'm keeping him his secret, and it seemed funny. If you've seen the movie Rounders, there's a great, John Malkovich plays a character named KGB, and so that's the inspiration. If he ever finds out I'm calling him KGB, I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna like it, dude. I don't think he's gonna like it. But I have to call him something, right? If I'm not gonna say his name, I gotta call him something. Okay. Okay. So this is an interesting position, of course, right? And the knight h4 thing, and by the way, it's kind of speculative. It's not clear to me you're really going to do anything over there. But okay, I get where you're coming from. Okay. So, A3, queen e7. Let's say the obvious. Well, black wants to play knight e4. B4. And now knight d2. Knight d2, exclam. KGB loved this idea. Just a simple prophylactic play to stop knight e4. Oh, wait. Darn it. Actually, let's think about this for a second. So I didn't do it, or in my notes, I didn't like this as much as the b4 later, because here I was concerned with knight g5. KGB, though, could care less about this knight g5 stuff. Makes a lot of sense, right? I was concerned with this move in my notes, but KGB correctly called it chump play. Okay. Wait, no. Get rid of that. I meant to put it here. And it's cool that the knight, if it needs to, can go to f1. So I played b4, a6, and now knight d2. Of course, KGB loves it. It's a better version here. Better version here. And on knight e6, yeah, he didn't feel the need for me to play f3 immediately, but I liked f3 there too. I felt, a lot of times, by the way, it's interesting, we're talking about KGB, is like, I have a lot of variations sometimes where it'll feel very forced to me. Like, okay, I gotta do this, and these are the calculations I'm doing, yada, yada. And for dude, he's generally like critical of me in that he's like, why are you always looking for tactics? Are you an idiot? Are you an idiot, Bows? The point being, like, you know, he's gonna see, I will see it in a little bit too. He's seeing things in a more structural way, and both me and my opponent are looking for, like, where's the tactics of the situation? And dude's like, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in your little games, buddy. I'm not interested in your little games, buddy. Okay, so knight e5, pop, 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 pop. Okay, so now bishop e2. During the game and after, I felt quite convinced that this was terrible for black. Even before KGB saw that my opponent played this move, he said, knight e2, but then black take and is equal. And let me just say, I was like, no, boss, you're wrong. You're wrong. You are wrong. So let me go through my dogma here for a second, okay? Because this was very surprising to me. My dogma here was that, and it's a powerful dogma. Let's go through my dogma. I got beautiful pawns on dark squares, okay? And then I started counting it out. I did this in the game too. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's not hard to imagine I get even more than 11. That poor knight has got 4 squares now. Most of the thing is going to get is 8. Okay? So, my pawns are in dark squares. What a life. What a life. It's got to be a great position for me. Okay. Dude was like, no. And I was like, one of my first instincts there was like, well, the computer. Oh no, did I just lose my note? I just lost my note. Darn it. ChessSpace is sometimes a jerk, dude. Sometimes a jerk. Okay, let me finish telling the story. So, I was like, okay, maybe I had to like rationalize KGB's answer. I was like, well, maybe this is from the olden times when like they didn't know that the bishop is so strong, that the computer likes the bishop so much, all this stuff, right? And so he was like, well, let's turn on the computer. And we were doing our ChessCom, and so we were just doing the cheap computer at ChessCom. And I don't like to turn on the computer. And we didn't even do it right away. But I did check it eventually, and the computer was like, boss, it's equal. Bishop b2, knight e2, equal. And I was like, what? Even the computer thinks this is equal with this bishop? Bows, you got to be kidding. So that was a cheap computer. Let's turn on Stockfish 15 on the real computer and see what happens here, bows. Equal. Equal. Look at that. Dead equal. And not only that, but KGB was like, I know how to play this position. I'm going to put the pawn on g6 and the knight on e6. And that's pretty much what the computer's saying, boss. Pawns on light squares, make a wall against that bishop, and put the knight on e6. We'll come back to this knight e6 thing later. And one of the things dude has been preaching at me, I'm going to turn off the computer here for a second, is that it does not matter if you come out of the opening with an advantage or not. It really matters, do you understand the position? And, look at the World Championship match. Ding was like, dude, let's just play the Carlsbad. I feel like I know this Carlsbad thing, baby. And, oh, dude, man, this thing was amazing. Now, Kostya's talking to me a little bit. Hold on, just say, probably, let's say 345. Okay, so that was amazing, dude. Now I have to write the note again because I'm a jerk face. Okay, so let me do this again. I don't know. We don't need to do it. Okay, here, let's just say KGB disagreed. I can't believe I lost that note. Disagreed and was proven right first by our sparring and then by Stockfish, who said equals. Now, by the way, with the notes, and I think this is important for the dojo, right? Don't let the computer override your human ability. That should be the main one. Like, yes, I was wrong. I stand by it. In the sense that this was my human evaluation. The computer obviously convinced me that the position's equal. It's still mind-blowing to me, okay? But, it's good for someone reading this, right? That was my human intuition, and then that's what Stockfish said. And what KGB said, clear discrepancy. Okay, so here we go. Knight d7, dude didn't like this. This is what KGB wanted. Simple chess. Pawns to cage my b, and always c5 e5 when white plays b5. Okay, so I'm going to play something like rook fb1, a4, b5. He'll go snip, snap, ab, ab, c5. And the point is, the amazing point, the knight is amazing on e6. And once we get this trait, we're going to see this in the game too, we need the d4 square to fight for the d4 square, the blockade square. Thank you very much. Okay, so this was a mistake. We'll say after lesson with KGB, gotta say this is a clear question mark. All right, so a4, correctamundo. Knight f6, b5, 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 c5. Pop, pop, queen b2. He was okay with this. And then dude definitely wanted, so here's an interesting example. I felt that black's position here was critical, like just about, probably lost, okay? So in that spirit of desperation, in my notes, I was looking at this highly tactical line, knight g4. KGB, though, was like, no, what are you doing? Why are you always giving me these tactics? He just wanted to sit on ye old position. Okay? Fascinating. So, yeah, so he didn't, even this position where the knight is misplaced, the knight wants to be on e6, not f6. e6 so that we can play d4, and I'll show a variation about that in a second. Okay, knight e4, rook c1, queen b6. Black, you can feel, is also feeling like the position is desperate because dude is allowing things like queen e5. Queen e5 does not work. I'm happy that I did not fall for the trick. But still, black is now trying to do fancy tactics to try to save their skin. Whereas queen d6 is just pure, is just a little bit of suffering, but black can say, dude, I'm not going to lose this thing. Okay, so I made a mistake, definitely. And why is this a mistake? Because it allows black to easily correct their business and come back to e6. All right, so we did this. He agreed with me that queen c2 was very strong here. Yeah. By the way, why didn't I find queen c2? It's interesting. I'm going to write it out here, actually. I believe I didn't find this move because I was in love with queen b2 and the communication with d4. Okay, good. So here I say clear advantage to white again. Now, should we turn on the computer? I don't know. I think he is in trouble. Now dude is in trouble by allowing this. But no, what should he do? The dude should play knight g5. Very simple chess. Knight g5, play rook d8 when you're ready, knight e6 when you're ready, think about d4. And KGB agreed with me that if I have any problem here, it's that the pawn on b5 is in the way of my bishop and potentially a target. We then looked at this business. And we analyzed this queen a3 move. Dude was just incredulous that this could be working. And I might turn on the computer here. I missed something over here. I missed king f8, king f1. King e7, snip snap here. Okay, wait, slow this down. c3, king e2. Rook d5. KGB found this move. And the guy with the rook endgames. Let me tell you guys a quick story, actually. One thing I knew, okay, when we talked about the 4-3, he kind of gave me a little test. So hilarious. Maybe we should clip this for Instagram. Okay? So, all right, Instagram, here we go. In the 4 versus 3 endgame, imagine the b5 and the c3 pawns go away. I gave the position to Pruess and Kostya, and they had no idea what was going on. They didn't understand that there's potential problems for black. They didn't understand that the only way to get true pressure is to prevent h5. This move, h5. They didn't get it. KGB's asking me here, what would you consider a success in the 4-3? He was already on me. And I said, only if I was able to achieve g4 to stop h5. And he said, correct. And so that was like, right, this is the way these people think. This is correct. And then that's close to loss. And then he was like, 4 versus 3 against a 2200, you should still win. You should still win, right? Those Pruess and Kostya, they were like, it's a draw, I don't understand. It's a draw, I don't understand. I tried to help him. I tried. Okay, back to the front. So, first of all, if I'm going to do this, I got to play king e1. So that rook d2 doesn't come with check. And then I got to go pop. This is actually misplayed because now c2 comes with tacos. See, I can't do it. So rook d5 is the key resource. Again. Yeah. So rook d5, exclam. And so let me just say, I struggled with this position. This one right here. It very much baffled me that we could potentially not be winning here. Yeah. Okay. So, wait a second. This says queen b3 double question mark. That's not true. Hold on, get rid of that double question mark. I think that's an exclam is what I meant to say. I mean, he's already toast after f6. All right. So the question was, how should I play the position on queen a3? All right. So I'm going to turn on the business here. Let's see what the engine says. It'll definitely be clear advantage for white. Will it be more? Okay. So that's pretty close. It's saying this one. So let's go through it. Queen a3. Pop, 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 pop. All right, so yeah, we're looking at knight c4. The engine's, look at this. The engine's saying it's pretty, white might live. And pretty sure KGB was talking about bishop g2 as well. Yeah, bishop g2. Dude, KGB's on another level, man. So, KGB and SF both want this plan. All right, let's say, first let's look at king f8. Something terrible is happening on king f8. No, I guess nothing terrible. Even here, it's very equalish. Let's go back and just let the machine think for a second. I spent hours. I spent hours on this position, my friends. Oh, look at this. I guess I was right. It's not easy. It's not easy. Dang. It looks absolutely winning at first for me. Just like, dude, give me a break. Ooh, dude, KGB found this variation too. Look at this, what he says. So rook c8, king g7, rook b8, rook e7, rook d8, rook e5. Now, I looked at this too, but I thought it was similar to these other positions. Then, so what's the drama? The knight is always, whenever we touch b6, the knight comes back to c4. If you take the thing, then the rook on e5 will look at our b5 pawn. If you win the pawn, but the c pawn, the queenside pawns get traded, then it's a 4 versus 3 drawn endgame. Okay? Now, does rook d8 make sense to me? Not so much. Let's look at bishop g2. And we're going to say this was KGB's intention. Now, d4, correctamundo. I was also, there's bishop d5 was a thought for us. Actually, yeah, we looked at this. Oh, we did look at this. Me and KGB went down this line. Looks equal. Well, it's easy for me to say it looks equal now because the computer's like, wow, this is totally equal. But I think d4 is a must. And then we go e takes. Let's promote. Rook e1, bishop f1. Nah, dude, this is equal. This is equal. What are we talking about? Equal. Okay, so we're going to say, actually, does it like queen a3? Either rook e6, queen a3. Rook e6 will end up looking very similar. Yeah. SF agrees, says position, basic says decision can be held. Okay, now we're going to do something interesting, my friends. Remove Kavutskiy. And now we're going to test Jack Stengline's business here. Okay? So, now, my friends, I got to do a little jadoops. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to switch scenes because that way I can go back to the scoreboard. Bang! There's our scoreboard. Isn't that simple? All right. Now, we're going to test online. Give him a test. Okay, so there's my game. Update PGN. Look at that. Oh, baby. Manual entry. Bam! Okay, make sure, you always got to make sure the date is correctamundo. And then you go bang. Oh! 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 Baby, it's updated. Dang. Pay that man his money, Quad XC. Pay that man his money. Nice. Nice, my friends. All right, I'm out of here. That was great. Join me next week, Tuesday. We will do the graduates.